In the same way, you have to divide your dissertation into chapters. And I think I have already told you, in case you take one work, then you can divide your dissertation into three chapters. In case you take two works, then you can divide your dissertation into four chapters. Now, two chapters, that of introduction and that of conclusion. These are mandatory for you. Now, what you have to write in your introduction? See, in introduction, you don't have to write it, after the pattern of a synopsis. I checked two or three dissertations sent to me by some candidates, and they basically prepared it, in the form of a synopsis. Like they gave some headings like purpose of study and justification of the topic, importance of the topic, relevance of the topic, research methodology. So these are not the things that you are supposed to give in your introduction. Let it be very simple. Say for example, if you are working on one book of any author, just give me one topic. Hello?
So,
Yes.
eco-criticism in Amitav Ghosh's novels.
Good
Okay.
morning, sir. Sir, culture studies.
Fire on the mountain.
Anything. Give me one topic so I can
Just like
clarify.
culture studies, we can say.
Cultural studies in which work?
Sir, White Tiger.
White Tiger. So, title it properly. You can title it, you can entitle it, I mean, a study of the white tiger through the lens of culturalism or cultural studies. So it can be a topic, or you can make it very simple, studying cultural studies in the white tiger, but let it be a bit appealing and eye catching. And if
Yes,
you
sir.
entitle it in a different way, like uh, a study of the white tiger, or you can include the name of the author also, a
Yes, sir.
study of Arvind Adiga's The White Tiger through the lens of cultural
Cultural
studies.
studies.
Right? So it can be a title. Right? Now, what you have to give in your introduction? You have to begin your introduction with a very good paragraph, a lengthy paragraph about Arvind Adiga. And in that paragraph, you have to establish Arvind Adiga as an author of great reputation. Right? So point, you have to complete your introduction in a series. So number one, you can begin your chapter with a full length paragraph about Arvind Adiga. Then you give some biographical details about Arvind Adiga, like where he was born and from where did he get his education, whether he was impacted by someone or not. There could be some people who might have impacted him, so you can write about that. I mean, you can write about the birth, about the parentage, about the early education, about the higher education of the author, and some impacts if he received from he got from some people in his surroundings, right? After that, you have to talk about different works of Arvind Adiga. See, you have to give all the works of Arvind Adiga, right? So one by one you can talk about the works of Arvind Adiga, and about every work you can write around one paragraph, maybe 10
Okay, sir.
lines, maybe 8 lines. I mean, what the
Yes.
work is about, right?
Right,
After
sir.
that, after that you have to write what are the major concerns in the works of Arvind Adiga. See, every author writes with a purpose. It may be social purpose, it may be religious purpose, it may be historical purpose, it may be any kind of purpose. One can write to ameliorate the condition of women. One can write to raise the issues of children. One can write for the sake of religion. One can write for some, social purpose also. Right? So you have to write what have been the major concerns in the works of Arvind Adiga. Right? After that, from a new paragraph, you have to write, though there have been different themes in the works of Arvind Adiga, but the aim of the present dissertation is to show the elements of cultural ideology uh, you have to give the name of that novel in The White Tiger. Or you can write the aim of the present study is to analyze the white tiger through the lens of cultural studies. Right? And how you will be doing it, in how many works you will be doing it. So simply you write that to establish this purpose or to show this purpose, I am going to take just one novel. Then how do you find the elements of cultural studies in this book, or how you will analyze cultural studies in this work? So little bit you have to write about that. So in it I think you can fill up around 12 to 13 or 14 pages, right? Then where the introduction ends, there you give a heading, literature review. Then fill just 2 or 3 pages about criticism on that particular work. You can include some articles, you can include some internet sources, you can include some critics. Means within 2 or 3 pages you can give this literature review. What I am trying to say is that make literature review a part of introduction. So I think it will cover around 15 pages, including literature review. Fine. Then the other important thing is that every chapter is to be followed by the works cited. By the works cited. So where the introduction ends, then from the next page you have to give the heading works cited. Works cited in the middle of the page, on the top of the page. Right? Now, while writing your introduction, you can quote some critics also, and you can give some quotes from the text also. So this is very crucial because you have not followed it. And basically these critics and textual quotations will come in the second chapter, that would be based on the main work. So what you have to do, see, whenever you quote from the text, and when you are quoting for the very first time from the text, if the quotation is that of 3 lines only, then you can include it within the paragraph. Comma, then inverted comma. In double inverted commas, you can write this, textual quote, if it is that of 3 lines only. But in case it is more than of 3 lines, then you will have to give it from the new line. I hope you are getting the point.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In the second chapter specifically, you will be quoting from the text, right? And if your quotation is that of 3 lines only, then you can give it, in the paragraph only, within double inverted commas. But if your quotation is going, it is crossing 3 lines, it is of more than 3 lines, then you can give it from the next line. Right? Okay. Now, where the quotation ends, in the bracket, you have to give some information. See, if you are quoting any textual quotation for the very first time, then you have to give the surname of the author. Say, for example, um, we are talking about The White Tiger, written by Arvind Adiga. So, if you use any textual quotation, the quotation from any text, I mean from the text that is The White Tiger. So, where the quotation ends, in bracket, you write the surname of the author, Adiga, then comma, then the name of the work, that is The White Tiger, then comma, then the page number, and bracket closed. See, this you have to do when you use the quotation textual quotation for the very first time. Again, I repeat, when you give a textual quotation for the very first time, then in bracket, you have to give the surname of the author, then comma, then the name of the work from which you are quoting the lines, then comma, then page number. So it will be Adiga, comma, the white tiger, comma, 76 in case the quotation is from page number 76. And then you have to close the bracket. Now see, if you are using quotes from the same text in continuity, then in the next quotation there is no need of giving the surname of the author and the name of the work. Simply you have to give the page number in bracket wherever the quotation ends. I hope you are getting the point.
Yes, sir, I get it.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then in case you give some critical quote by any critic, again you have to do that. Again you will have to write the name of that critic's surname. Say for example, there is a quote of Clint Brooks. So where the quote ends, in the bracket you have to write Brooks, comma, then the name of that critical book, comma, then the page number. Right? Again, if the quotes are coming from the same text in continuity, then there is no need of giving the surname and the name of the book. You simply have to give the page number. Right? So when you begin any quote, afresh, नया एकदम से शुरू करोगे, तो then you have to give the surname, comma, then the name of the book, comma, then page number. But if the quotes you are quoting from the same book in continuity, then there is no need of giving the author's surname and the book name. Simply you have to give the page number. So this is something that you have to do. So you have to follow this pattern. And where the chapter ends, then you have to give works cited. Now inside the chapter you have given the detail of the work in very short. Say for example you have given just the surname, then the book name and the page number only. But in work cited, it will come, it will come in complete form. I mean, there you have to give the surname, comma, the first name, the second name, comma. Say for example, if the critic is Clanth Brooks, so Brooks, comma, Clanth, full stop, then the name of the text, then full stop, and then the information regarding the book. I mean, publication, जो press वगैरह है उसका year of publication, everything you have to give in detail. And for that you can check the edition of the MLA. It may be the 7th, it may be the 8th, it may be the 9th. Better if you follow the 9th edition. Right? Then some more thing. The names of the novels, they are to be italicized. Wherever you use them, you have to italicize them. The name of or the names of the plays, they are also to be italicized. But the name of any short story, it is to come within double inverted comma. If it is a collection of any short story, again, it has to come within the double inverted commas. In the same way, some poetic collection or name of any poem, these are also to be given within double inverted comma. So novels and plays, these names you have to italicize, and the names of the poems, poetic collections, and the names of essays also, you have to italicize them. Critical books, उनको भी तुमको italicize करना है. Getting the point?
Yes,
So
sir.
this thing you have to do in every chapter. I mean, wherever you quote, whatever you quote, so everything you have to give systematically. Number one, if a quotation is that of 3 lines, then you can adjust it within the paragraph. But if the quotation is lengthy, I mean it is of more than 3 lines, then you can begin it from the next line. And wherever you quote, in the end, you give some brief information about it, like the surname of the author, then the book name, and then the page number, in case you are using it for the very first time. But if the same book is referred to for quotations, then in this continuity, you don't have to give the surname, you don't have to give the book name, simply you have to give the page number. But remember, wherever this continuity breaks, so you will have to begin afresh. So again, you have to use the surname, the book name, and the page number. So this thing you have to follow in all the chapters. So I have told you about the introduction. The introduction you can divide into some points. Avoid giving headings. Headings are, these are meant for graduate classes only, not for the PG students and the research students, right? So you have to begin you can divide your introduction into some points, and based on those points you can fill 15, 16, 17, or 12 pages. It is up to you depending on the length of your dissertation. Like, you have to give the introduction of the author, then the biography of the author, then the works of the author, what the works are about, then what are the major concerns in the works of the author, then in the end what is the purpose of your dissertation, right? And where this introduction ends, then give a heading: literature review. Literature review. Then write 2 or 3 pages on literature review also. And then this chapter of introduction, it is to be followed by works cited from a fresh page. So in it you have to fill just 13, 14, 15, 16 pages. It is up to you. So there is a kind of flexibility. I mean, it's not that you have to fill just 40 pages or 45 pages. If it goes up to 50 pages also, then there is no problem. There are no hard and fast rules about it. You can take it like MPhil dissertation, and an MPhil dissertation, it also covers around 50 to 60 or 70 pages. And this is a pre-PhD dissertation. So I feel you can fill 40 to 50 pages and there'll be no problem, right?
Yes, sir.
Then the second chapter, it would be based on the text that you are supposed to take for your work. Say, for example, you are talking about cultural studies in the White Tiger, right? So how this culture is working in the White Tiger, that should be the subject matter of your second chapter. So when you talk about cultural studies, you'll be talking about the dressing sense, you'll be talking about the behavior, you'll be talking about the eating manners. I mean, you'll be taking into consideration everything that is a part and parcel of culture. So many elements related to cultural studies are there. Moreover, the culture of the poor people and the culture of the rich people, that is also the subject matter of the book. So what do you want to, I mean, what cultural elements do you find in that text? So in the second chapter, you have to fill the pages based on this particular idea, that is cultural studies, right?
सर
Again, this
यहाँ पे
chapter,
एक्सक्यूज मी सर यहाँ पे हमें ये भी बताने की जरूरत है व्हाट इज कल्चरल स्टडीज.
that you can talk about in introduction.
यस सर.
You can give just 1 or 2 pages about cultural studies. You
यस
just
सर.
give the origin of cultural studies in introduction, not here, because the base
यस.
of the dissertation you have to make in the introduction. बट यहाँ पे
यस.
थोड़ा ये हो सकता है कि आई मीन यू आर सपोज टू फिल जस्ट 13 and 14 pages. So in it, you can cover 2 pages or 1.5 pages on cultural studies, what this approach is, how it is applicable on literature, how it is related to literature. So show that literature is the reflection of the society. It covers everything. It covers the dressing sense also. It covers the habits, the manners, emotions, feelings, everything related to human beings. Culture, it is, you just can say literature is a part of culture, as I talked I talked about while teaching structuralism. Text, an individual text, a part is a part of literature. Literature is a part of culture. So culture is the big tree, and then literature, texts, different genres, These are the different branches of this big tree. If you want to understand a text properly, you need to read it in relation to literature as a complete body. And if you want to understand literature as a complete body, then you need to read it in the light of culture as a bigger body that is more complete in the comparison of, you know, literature. Right? And
Yes,
again,
sir.
in the second chapter, you will be giving quotes from the text, and you may give some quotes from critics also. So wherever you give quotes from the text and from critics, so again you have to do the same thing as I have already told you. Is that clear? So give the reference of every quotation in the bracket where the quotation ends, where the quote ends. So again this chapter will be followed by works cited. In the end of every chapter you have to give works cited, right, in detail. And when I say works cited are to be given alphabetically. Alphabetically, right? Then the third chapter, conclusion. In the conclusion, again, it depends on you. It depends on how many pages you are going to devote on conclusion. If you want to cover 10 pages or 15 pages, then you can talk about the writing style of the author. And here you have to talk, you have to give the findings of the entire dissertation, or I mean, what are the basic results, or how this cultural study is applicable on the text. I mean, you have to give the findings and you have to give the essence of your dissertation in you know the chapter of conclusion. And this chapter again is to be followed by work cited, right? Then in the very end, from a new page, you have to give the heading a select bibliography. A select bibliography, right? Here you can give some headings. So you give the main heading a select bibliography in the middle of the page on the top. Then in the left you can give one more heading, and that is primary sources. So when you talk about the primary sources here, all the works of Arvind Adiga, all the original works of Arvind Adiga, they are to be included in primary sources. So it should not be that just because you are working on one book in this dissertation, so you have to give just one name. You can give 3, 4, 5 names, because in the introduction you'll be talking about every work of the author. So in the primary sources you can give all the works, if not all, then major works of Arvind Adiga. So a select bibliography, the main heading in the middle of the page on the top. Then come to the left side, give the heading primary sources. Below the primary sources, give one more heading, works by Arvind Adiga. And in the secondary sources, works on Arvind Adiga. So the original works written by Arvind Adiga, they will be included in the category of primary sources. And the critics who have written on Arvind Adiga, or all the books written by others on Arvind Adiga, so they will be included in the category of the secondary sources. I mean, they may be articles, research papers, they may be reviews, they may be, newspaper cuttings, also editorials. So all these are to be included in the category of the secondary sources. So in the primary sources, you give the heading works by Arvind Adiga. Then you give the list of the works alphabetically, right? And in case you have some interviews on Arvind Adiga, then interviews are also included in the primary sources. So in the primary sources, we include only two things. Number one, the original works of the author. Number two, the interviews held with, the author you are working on, right? Then come to the secondary sources. So give the heading the secondary sources, and below the secondary sources give one more heading, that is works on Arvind Adiga. So here again you can make categorization. So first you can give the heading of books, I mean books. So all the books written on Arvind Adiga, you can give a list of those books alphabetically, and articles, research articles, you can give this heading, and in the end, naturally you'll be quoting from the internet sources also. So give one more heading, internet sources in the end, and give the website of those internet sources. So in that way you have to complete your dissertation. Remember, the front page should be very clear, check it very clearly, check all the spellings, right? On the top of the page you have to give the title, then below it you can write uh, a pre PhD coursework dissertation submitted to the Department of English, Chaudhry Charan Singh University, Meerut. Then in the left side you can give the name of the supervisor. Supervisor click के heading, उसके नीचे give the name of the supervisor. Then to the right side give the name of researcher. You write researcher, and below it you give your own name, and below you can give year, that is 2023. So that should be the front page, right? Then you will have to make two certificates, one certificate from your side, the other certificate from the side of the guide. In your certificate you have to say that this is your original work and it has not been published earlier in any other university or institution. The same certificate is to be given by your supervisor, who will write that the candidate has worked under my supervision and this is his or her original work, and it has not been published earlier in any other university or institutions. Only two certificates, one by you, declaration by you, the other certificate by your supervisor, right? Then what you are doing, you are writing preface separately, acknowledgements separately. Now what you can do, avoid acknowledgements. So you give just one thing, and that is preface. So what you can do, in preface you can talk about your dissertation, that the title of your dissertation is this one, and for this you have undertaken one or two works. It has been divided into itne chapters, and in this chapter, in introduction, you have tried to make the readers familiar with the biography of the author, the works of the author, like that. In the second chapter you have done this one, and in the final chapter, that is
So that
conclusion,
is
you have
that is will be in the end of the dissertation and the
very beginning.
very beginning, sir. Okay.
प्रेफेस किसी बुक के एंड में आता है नीलम
Yes, yes,
राठी?
sir. नहीं
अब
सर, मैं
बावलों
वही
वाली
तो
बात कर रही है?
सर बिब्लियोग्राफी के बाद बताया ना सर, तो मुझे लगा कि
अरे
ये नेक्स्ट जाएगा.
नहीं, bibliography is the end of your dissertation. I mean, have you seen
Yes,
any
sir.
book where you find preface in the very end of the book?
No, sir.
Then, right? See,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
telling you to minimize your dissertation in some limitation. Like there is no need of giving acknowledgement separately, and there is no need of giving preface separately. So you give just preface. In the preface, just one full paragraph you give about the work, and then where it ends, then you write, before I close this note, it is my moral duty or sacred duty or ethical duty to pay thanks to those, to pay thanks to all those who have been kind enough, benign enough to help me in the completion of this dissertation. Then you can write everything. First of all, तुम जिसे वो तुम लिख ही लेते हो, क्या एग्जैजरेट करते हो, एग्जैजरेट मत किया करो, ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
तो acknowledgement and preface, merge them into one. Give the heading preface. In the first part you talk about the author, like the title of your dissertation is this one, and you have tried to do it with the help of one work or two works. It has been divided into itne chapters. In the first chapter you have done this one, in the second this one, in the third chapter you have done this one. Enough. Then from the next line, before I close this prefatory note, it is my moral duty to pay thanks to all those who have been kind enough to me in the completion of this dissertation, then you can do, whatever you want to, right? Then there'll be one page of contents. Okay, so like if you divide your chapter into your dissertation into three chapters, so you have to count the pages from the first page of introduction, right? तो उसमें लिख देना contents, लेफ्ट साइड में चैप्टर्स, राइट साइड pages. Chapter 1 page number 1 to 10 15, then chapter 2 page number this one to that one, chapter 3 pages this one to that one, then bibliography page number this one to that one, your preface, your certificate, or if you write acknowledgements, these are not to be included in the page numbers. Only bibliography is to be included, or I mean the pages of bibliography are to be counted only. Certificate, you cannot count it in page numbers. Declaration, you can't count it in the page numbers. Preface, you can't count it in the page numbers. So counting will begin from the first page of the introduction. I hope things are clear to you now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So in your introduction, don't write importance and justification of topic, relevance of topic. No, 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 no. Well, that is for the purpose of synopsis only. Synopsis is different. Synopsis is the plan of action. Plan of action of what you will be doing during the next 3 or 4 years during your research work. So that is the plan of action, right? Dissertation in itself is you can take it like a PhD work, mini PhD work. Your PhD you'll be confining within 200 pages, 180 or 160 pages, and here you are going to confine it within 40 to 45 or 50 pages. That is the only difference. But the pattern would remain same. There'll be chapter division, there'll be preface, there'll be certificates, there'll be declaration, page numbers, the page of contents, quotations, everything will remain same. I mean the pattern will remain same. If you have any queries, please let me know. And one more thing, please take care of grammatical errors and spelling errors. Right? Now, it's not possible for any guide to check all the dissertations completely. So what we can do, I personally feel that I can check only the first 5 or 10 pages, and I can have a cursory look at the dissertation, but this is not possible to go through all the 40 pages. This is not the case of 1, 2, 3 or 4 candidates, because you are in bulk, so it's not possible to go through each and every page. The better if you work on your grammar, your language, content, तो जो भी होगा, I'm not saying that this is not crucial. Again, this is crucial, but हो जाएगा, उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. मेरा मानना ये है कि whatever you write, the medium should be absolutely right, and the medium is language. Right?
Okay,
Sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
If you have
Okay,
any
sir.
queries, please let me know.
सर थोड़ा सा गाइड एग्जाम्स के बारे में भी कर दीजिए सर प्लीज.
What about binding?
Let it be in the form of spiral binding. That is enough.
Sure, sir.
Don't spend much money on it.
Sir,
Let it be in
objectives,
the form of spiral binding, but it should be of good quality.
यस सर.
sir, objectives and research methodology, do we need to include them also or not?
Where?
Sir,
In your
in
introduction?
yes, sir.
Nahi, no. This is not synopsis.
Okay, sir.
In synopsis, you have already written what methodology you'll be applying. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
And here this is the matter of practice, not that of, I mean, this is the matter of application now. Now you are applying that.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Would
sir.
Is that
you,
is getting my point?
Yes, sir.
In
Yes, sir.
synopsis, you tell what research methodology or what methodology you'll be applying, in how many chapters you'll be dividing it. What is the relevance of this study? What is the purpose of this study? What is the importance of this study at the present time? Because research nowadays, it should not only be interdisciplinary, but it must be, I repeat, it must be relevant to the society. It must be related to our life, to our behavior. It must be for the improvement of the conditions of human beings. Life is already very complicated, so it must give a solution to sort out all the problems in our life. So that is the purpose of research nowadays. So research is not, in the form of pure research in literature, because you know very well that we can't do anything for the society. We don't have any kind of contribution in the society. But in a way, I very seriously feel that our contribution is more than the contribution of the students of science. So they create something that is visible, and we create something that is not visible but that is more and more crucial. We give moral lessons to people. If life is not worth living, we teach them how to live it. If life is very complicated, we teach them how to resolve these complications and how to keep calm during these, complicated moments. And that is the very purpose of life. We teach people how to get mental satisfaction. That is more crucial than any kind of satisfaction. Fine. You can be satisfied by earning money, you can be satisfied by earning name and fame, but if mental satisfaction is not there, then everything is useless. So this is where literature becomes very crucial. Right? So what is the relevance of literature? This is, I mean, how it is related to the present circumstances and how it is playing a role in the upliftment of the society. Is that clear?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir.
Teaching is basically, it means to make you behave as you do not behave. It does not mean to teach you what you do not know. It means to make you behave as you do not behave. It means to make you, crave for the things for which you do not crave. So literature is very different, and research in literature is, that is very different. Here you'll not be finding any gas that can be useful in the kitchen. You cannot find anything that is in the visible form, but you can find something which is invisible but very crucial, very magical, mesmerizing. A book can change the total course of your life. A good paragraph, it can change your thinking pattern, your attitude. It can change your anger. It can change, or it can finish completely your irritation and your anger. So books are very crucial, and research in literature becomes more and more crucial. Right? So here in the introduction, you don't have to talk about research methodology, about the relevance of literature, about this one, about that one. No, 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 no. Simply here you have to focus on the author, the works of the author, the concerns in the works of the author, and then what is the purpose of this dissertation, how many works you'll be including to show this purpose, how you will be doing it. That's all. You can fill up around 40 pages on it, I mean on introduction, and you can fill up around 15 or 12 pages on it. It depends on you. Any other queries?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
क्लियर है?
सर एक्सक्यूज मी सर,
हम्म।
सर
Yes.
थोड़ा सा एग्जाम्स के बारे में भी गाइड कर दीजिए सर प्लीज।
एग्जाम्स के बारे में क्या बताऊं मैं? बताओ।
सर किस टाइप का एग्जाम आएगा, क्योंकि फर्स्ट टाइम है, क्योंकि पिछले एग्जाम से भी हम इसमें कुछ वो नहीं ले सकते हेल्प। अभी किस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस होंगे?
I feel that it will be purely descriptive.
यस सर।
Uh, the possibility is that you may have 10 to 12 questions in your one paper, I mean, in every paper,
यस
out
सर।
of which I think you will have to do just 5 questions.
ओके।
So I think that is going to be the pattern. You have 3 written examinations, and one
यस
is
सर।
that of dissertation,
यस सर।
right? So the mode, I think it is going to be purely descriptive.
यस सर।
Writing ability, it will be under scrutiny,
यस सर।
and you will have more and more options, I feel so.
ओके सर।
And take care of time management, because you'll be given only 3 hours, and within 3 hours you will have to do 5 questions. So don't devote much time on question number 1 or question number 2.
यस
Give
सर।
equal time to all the questions. What students do, the first 4 questions, they do very well, filling so many pages. But when comes the matter of the last question, the time passes out. They get just
सर
5 to 10
वेरी
minutes.
वेरी फर्स्ट एग्जाम सर ऑफ मेथोडोलॉजी सर, उसे करके तो फिर सेकंड एग्जाम का थोड़ा सा आइडिया हो जाएगा। तो
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
सर उसके क्वेश्चंस को तो पता है, लेकिन सेकंड एग्जाम के क्वेश्चंस नहीं पता है। टेक्स्ट में से कैसे आएंगे या किस तरह से क्वेश्चंस पुट अप होंगे?
सेकंड कौन सा है तुम्हारा?
सेकंड बताना भी कौन सा है सेकंड?
लिटरेरी थेरीज का है, कौन सा है?
Yes,
आई
sir.
थिंक सो
Literally.
सर।
हम्म।
सर यही है, लिटरेरी थ्योरी है सर।
हाँ, तो वेरी सिंपल. You try to cover at least 4 to 5 literary theories.
यस सर।
Formalism, you can do psychoanalysis, you can do feminism, you can do structuralism, post-structuralism, deconstruction, Marxism. 5-6 theories को ढंग से कर लो. Enough,
जी
more
सर।
than enough.
यस सर।
सर हमारे एग्जाम सर कॉन्फ्रेंस से पहले होंगे या बाद में?
भाई ये तो I can't tell you.
सर डिसर्टेशन?
Dissertation का I think there is some notification from the side of the university.
ओके सर।
What does it state?
सर
25
इन द एंड
नवंबर
ऑफ
रिगार्डिंग
द
का।
नवंबर।
एंड ऑफ नवंबर तो चल गया, अभी तो 27 तो तुम्हारी डेट ही हो गई, तो ये तो पॉसिबल नहीं है.
यस सर।
है ना? तो चौधरी चरण सिंह यूनिवर्सिटी इट कैन नॉट फॉलो इट्स कैलेंडर. आई एम गिविंग यू इन राइटिंग. मेरे को लगता है जनवरी से पहले नहीं होंगे तुम्हारे, मतलब आई फील सो. बाकी हो सकता है दिसंबर एंड में भी हो जाए, तो बी रेडी.
जी सर।
And sir, what
ओके
about
सर।
लाइफ
paper
का
third?
थैंक
And
यू।
एक.
sir, what about third paper, Contemporary Indian English Studies?
उसमें भी यू कैन प्रिपेयर 5 to 6 texts. You read 5 or 6
Like,
texts properly. I don't know even what the texts are there.
okay, sir. For example, Gitanjali, Shri's Tomb of Saint is there,
Hmm.
or Grish
So
Karna's
go through the
Crossing
text
to
and try to
Telugu.
find out what can be the crucial questions on this text.
Like thematic study, characterization, stylistic studies.
Everything,
This.
everything.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
तो उसी पॉइंट से तैयार कर लो उसको.
सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था सर, मैं पूछना चाह रहा था जो सिनॉप्सिस है और ये डिसर्टेशन है, दोनों का टाइटल बिल्कुल सेम हो सकता है?
Though you can do it, but better if you make some, slight changes. थोड़ा सा कर लो.
ओके सर, ओके, थैंक यू.
I think it's not going to be tough for you to alter the topic slightly.
Sir,
Little
can you
bit.
explain
Yes.
magic realism in brief?
Sorry.
Can you please explain magic realism? What is magic realism?
Magic realism. Have you gone through the Shalimar the clown?
No, sir.
Okay.
Midsummer Night's Dreams. Oh, sorry.
See, this is, you can call it a kind of amalgamation of something that is real and that is not. I mean, it can be surreal. I hope you understand what is surreal.
Yes,
Do
sir.
you?
Yes, sir.
Say, for example, just 10 balls are left and the team needs 100 runs. Not 100, 60 runs. And fortunately, the batsman who is on the crease is able to do this task. So, this would be somehow surreal. Though it is real, but it seems to be somehow, which was almost impossible. So, when you talk about magic realism, so you can call it an amalgamation of something that may be real and something that. ये किसका रेडियो बज गया अलग? हेलो.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We are listening.
Okay. So something, that may be real. I mean, that may be possible and that may not be possible. Like, in so many books, you can find some incidents which, you can believe them and you cannot believe them, but, on the pages of the book, they become possible. Like when you talk about Shalimar the Clown. In Shalimar the Clown, we have one character, Max Offals. Right? So, I mean, the background is that of the Nazi invasion in France. So he
सर
was in a very typical.
मिडनाइट चिल्ड्रन के एग्जांपल देके प्लीज समझा सकते हैं सर.
मिडनाइट चिल्ड्रन का मुझे देखना पड़ेगा क्योंकि लॉन्ग टाइम एगो आई रेड इट, बट इफ़ यू गिव मी सम टाइम तो मैं समझा दूंगा.
ओके सर.
बट उसका जो कोर है वो यही है. आई मीन समथिंग विच इज़, आई मीन विच मे बी पॉसिबल बट विच इज़ ऑलमोस्ट इम्पॉसिबल, बट विच इज़ एक्सिक्यूटेड. Getting
ओके
my
सर.
point?
यस सर.
Like if you are in a situation from where you feel that you cannot come out and death is possible, I mean, death is inevitable for you, but some magical event takes place and you just come out of that situation. So, this would be magic realism. मिडनाइट चिल्ड्रन पे अगर समझना है तो मुझे थोड़ा सा टाइम देना पड़ेगा
यस.
क्योंकि मुझे कैरेक्टर्स उसके इतने अभी माइंड में नहीं है. आई नीड टू हैव ए लुक. और अगर तुम्हें इसमें, मैं आपको एक क्लिप भी भेज सकता हूँ मैजिक रियलिज्म पर पूरी अपनी.
यस सर
आपके
प्लीज.
उसमें मैं शेयर कर सकता हूँ किसी को.
यस सर, यस सर।
तो देयर आई हैव सिंप्लीफाइड एवरीथिंग. इट्स एन ऑडियो बेसिकली. तो बहुत अच्छे से उसमें मैंने सिंप्लीफाई किया है, आप उसको समझ सकते हैं. आज ही भेज दूंगा मैं
Okay,
उसको
sir.
देख के. और अगर और डिटेल में समझना है तो फिर मैं किसी और दिन समझा दूंगा आपको.
ओके सर.
देखो ये कुछ टर्म्स हैं जैसे मैजिक रियलिज्म है और तुम्हारा ये है एक कॉलरिज वाले कौन सी टर्म है?
Willing suspension
सस्पेंशन
Willing
of
ऑफ
suspension
disbelief.
of disbelief.
willing suspension of disbelief.
Disbelief.
Again, what is that? Say for example, we all are movie watchers, and
Yes, sir.
whenever we see any movie, 80% scenes are unrealistic. Is it or
Yes.
not?
Yes, sir.
यस सर.
If you trust the Sunny Deol of Gadar movie, Gadar Part 1, then I think there is no need of deputing army on the borders of India. You depute just 4 Sunny Deols on 4, front
Yes,
lines
sir.
सर.
Yes,
of
यस.
India.
sir.
Then they are more than enough. One Sunny is enough for 25%
For whole army of
25% army of
Pakistan.
Pakistan. So this is somehow, willing suspension of disbelief. When we
Yes,
see
sir.
a movie, we know that this is something which is not possible in reality, but for the time being, whenever we see that movie, we willingly suspend our sense of disbelief, our logic of disbelief, which does
Yes,
not
sir.
allow us to believe in such. These are magical events basically. In a movie, a hero beats 10 people, 13 people, 14 people, And in the action movies, you can find such scenes where one man is having an edge over the complete army of the opponents. So this is not possible. But whenever we see the movie, we believe in this fact. Means for the time being, I mean, whenever we are watching that movie, whenever we are busy in watching that movie, we suspend our sense of logic. We suspend our sense of disbelief. Once the movie is over, we come out of this fantasy world. Is it or not? So these
Yes.
Yes,
terms
sir.
are somehow same. Willing suspension of disbelief, magic realism, right? So force, these are surrealism. These are basically the amalgamations of something that may be possible but mainly not possible, right? Or you just can say fabula like situation, an amalgamation of something that is real and something that is fabulistic. I hope you understand what is fabulistic. Fable like, fable like, myth like.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But
Yes,
who
sir.
can say that there was a
Yes,
real
sir.
Helen? Who can say? But it's a myth and we believe in it.
Yes, sir.
Getting my point?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Who can
Yes, sir.
trust the stories of Zeus? Who can trust the stories of Agamemnon, Clytemnestra? So many things are there. Clear? Anything else?
No,
Sir,
sir.
when will be the next class?
क्या पढ़ोगे अब?
सर देयर इज सो मच लेफ्ट सर आपकी क्लासेस तो चाहिए हमें
तो बताओ ना, जो पढ़ोगे मैं वही तो पढ़ाऊंगा ना.
सर
सर
थोड़ा सा
पोस्ट
पोस्ट
ह्यूमनिज्म
ह्यूमनिज्म
एंड
पे बता दीजिए सर.
डिसोसिएशन.
यस सर
एक बोलो एक.
सर थोड़ा सा पोस्ट ह्यूमनिज्म को डिस्क्राइब कर दीजिए सर.
ठीक है, कर दूंगा उसको भी. और कुछ?
एंड
Cyborg
सर
manifesto.
प्रीकॉन्सेप्शन आल्सो.
हम्म,
यस सर
And sir, queer theory also.
ठीक
सर
है.
क्वेयर थ्योरी एलजीबीटी आईक्यू द थ्योरी जेंडर स्टडीज में जो हमारी है वो
क्वे थियरी
एंड
कर
न्यू
दूंगा. ठीक है.
हिस्टोरियस
पोस्ट ह्यूमनिज्म और
Cyborg
सर
न्यू
manifesto.
स्ट्रक्चरलिज्म भी
हिस्टोरिसिज्म
बचा हुआ है अभी थोड़ा सा।
इको क्रिटिसिज्म में क्या पढ़ोगे? सिंपल सा तो फैक्ट है.
सर न्यू हिस्टोरिसिज्म
और सर डिकंस्ट्रक्शन।
एक एक करके ले लो. पहले क्या करना है वो कर लो. पहले पोस्ट ह्यूमनिज्म पढ़ना है, क्वे थियरी है पढ़ना
सर
है.
एलजीबीटी.
क्या चीज?
पोस्ट ह्यूमनिज्म सर.
ठीक है, पोस्ट ह्यूमनिज्म पढ़ा दूंगा
जी सर.
आधा पौना घंटे के लिए.
ओके
वैसे
सर
तुम्हारे स्ट्रक्चरलिज्म चल रहा था, अगर तुम वहीं से अभी इसको लेके चलो तो वही खत्म कर सकता हूँ मैं पहले.
हाँ सर, पहले
जी सर.
वही
जी सर. जी
कंटिन्यूएशन
सर.
में।
सर जी
इन द सीक्वेंस सर.
यस
पहले स्ट्रक्चरलिज्म ले लो, फिर पोस्ट स्ट्रक्चरलिज्म ले लो, फिर डिकंस्ट्रक्शन ले लो.
जी सर.
वीक में 3 लेक्चर्स ले लूंगा. चलो मैं तुम्हारे 2 या
ओके
2
सर.
तो ले लूंगा.
ओके सर
आज संडे हो गया, एक ट्यूसडे को ले लेता हूँ. तुम्हारा जो स्ट्रक्चरलिज्म रह रहा है उसको ख़त्म कर देता हूँ.
ओके सर.
और फिर दो एक दिन छोड़ के फिर तुम्हारा वो पोस्ट स्ट्रक्चरलिज्म वो देख देख कर देता हूँ. ठीक है.
Okay, sir.
सर प्लीज जो थर्ड एग्जाम होगा हमारा इंडियन थ्योरी पे सर, उस पे भी थोड़ा सा मुझे बता दीजिएगा कि किस तरह के क्वेश्चन उस पे आ सकते हैं. टेक्स्ट पे किस तरह से बन सकते हैं क्वेश्चन सर.
इंडियन थियरी पे कौन सा है तुम्हारा?
सर वही गीतांजलि श्री और ये
तो वो थियरी थोड़ी है, टेक्स्ट है ये तो.
टेक्स्ट है सर. इस पे किस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस बन सकते हैं.
अरे on any text you can begin with the title, you can have a look at the major themes, you can have a look at the characterization, you can have a look at the plot, what has been the concern of the author.
सर वही जस्ट लाइक शेक्सपियर, जस्ट लाइक.
अरे और नहीं तो क्या, यही तो है.
ओके सर.
ये तो let me tell you, this paper is not meant for the PhD level.
वही
अब
सर,
ये
वही
तो
सोच
लगा
के।
दिया है भाई, इसमें क्या कर सकते हैं। पीएचडी में कोई टेक्स्ट थोड़ी ना पढ़ते हैं। पीएचडी इज मेंट फॉर कंपैरेटिव लिटरेचर, इट इज मेंट फॉर क्लासिकल लिटरेचर, ट्रांसलेशन थियरीज। तो पीएचडी में टेक्स्ट थोड़ी ना होते हैं भाई, तुमको है तो पढ़ो इसको। ठीक है, हर टेक्स्ट में जो
ओके
भी
सर,
मेजर थीम्स हैं उनको देख लो बस, इसमें तो यही
ओके
बनता
सर,
है।
ओके सर।
भाई ये ऐसी है जैसे द गॉड ऑफ स्मॉल थिंग्स,
यस सर।
ऐसे ही उसको पढ़ो। एज यू स्टडी एनी अदर टेक्स्ट, यू स्टडी दीज टेक्स्ट with the same pattern, with the same questions in mind.
यस सर।
ठीक है, चलो तो नेक्स्ट लेक्चर, मैंने तुम्हारे ये पॉइंट्स नोट कर लिए, इनको मैं करा दूंगा।
ओके सर।
ओके
ओके
सर।
सर, नेक्स्ट।
Thank you, sir.
ओके,
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
so
sir.
much, sir.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू
Thank you,
सो
sir.
मच।
Thank you, sir.
So.
Thank you, sir.